She was the most photographed woman in the world. But behind the cameras, she was alone. Princess Diana entered the royal family as a shy 19-year-old. The world saw a fairy tale, a prince, a palace, a future queen. Reality was different. Scrutiny, betrayal, a marriage already cracking beneath the crown. She became the people's princess not because she was perfect, but because she was real. This isn't just a royal story. It's the story of a woman in a golden cage who tried to rewrite her ending. One brushstroke, one story. This is Nara Paint. Before the crown, before the headlines, there was a quiet girl named Diana Spencer. Princess Diana was born into British aristocracy in 1961, but privilege did not protect her from pain. Her parents' marriage collapsed when she was young. Custody battles followed. She later described her childhood as unstable, marked by emotional distance and longing for affection. She grew up shy, sensitive, often unsure of herself. At school, she struggled academically, but excelled in kindness. She loved children. She loved music and dance. She dreamed not of palaces, but of simple happiness, to be loved, to belong. At 19, she was working as a kindergarten assistant in London when she caught the attention of Charles III, then Prince of Wales. He was 12 years older, the future king, the most eligible bachelor in the world. Their courtship moved quickly and under relentless media attention. Cameras followed her everywhere. Every outfit dissected, every gesture analyzed. Overnight, the shy nursery teacher became global news. In 1981, their wedding was watched by over 750 million people worldwide. A cathedral filled with royalty, a dress with a 25-foot train, crowds cheering outside Buckingham Palace. It looked like a fairy tale, but even on her wedding day, doubt lingered. Later, Diana would admit she felt alone inside the marriage from the very beginning. The age gap, the pressure, the unspoken presence of another woman, Camilla Parker Bowles, whose history with Charles had never truly ended. Still, at 20 years old, Diana stepped into the palace, not fully prepared, not fully protected, and about to discover that the crown was heavier than it appeared. Life inside the palace was not the fairy tale the world imagined. Princess Diana was barely 20, expected to embody perfection. Every gesture observed, every expression interpreted. The monarchy valued restraint. Diana felt everything. The loneliness grew quickly. Her marriage to Charles III felt distant from the start, and the shadow of Camilla never fully disappeared. Behind the palace walls, Diana battled bulimia and deep insecurity, later admitting it was a cry for help in a system that left her unheard. But pressure did something unexpected. Instead of shrinking, she connected. She visited AIDS patients at a time when fear kept others away, touching them, sitting beside them, holding their hands without hesitation. She spent time with children in hospitals, with the homeless, with those society often overlooked. There was no distance in her presence. The public saw something different in her. Not a flawless royal figure, but a woman who was honest about pain. She spoke openly about mental health and emotional struggle, breaking traditions that had stood for generations. And the more authentic she became, the more the marriage fractured. In 1992, their separation was announced. The fairy tale had cracked. But for the first time, Diana was beginning to stand not as a royal wife, but as a woman finding her own voice. After the separation, everything changed. Princess Diana was no longer protected by the illusion of a perfect marriage. She was exposed emotionally, politically, personally. And yet, this was the moment she seemed most powerful. In 1995, she gave a televised interview that stunned the monarchy. Calm, composed, but unfiltered, she admitted the truth the world had long suspected. There were 3 of us in this marriage. It was more than a confession. It was a rupture in royal silence. The following year, the divorce was finalized. Her title changed, her role shifted, but her influence only grew. Freed from certain royal constraints, Diana focused intensely on humanitarian work. She campaigned against landmines, walking through active minefields in Angola, bringing global attention to a crisis many governments ignored. The images were powerful, not because she was royal, but because she was present. She met with the sick, the injured, the forgotten. She used her fame as leverage, turning media attention into pressure for change. For the first time, she seemed in control of her own narrative. But freedom came with relentless scrutiny. Paparazzi followed her everywhere, on vacation, at dinner, in moments meant to be private. Fame had once elevated her. Now it chased her. In the summer of 1997, she began a relationship with Dodi Fade. The world watched closely. Speculation intensified. Cameras multiplied. Then, on August 31st, 1997, in a tunnel in Paris, the chase ended in tragedy. The news spread before dawn. She was 36 years old. And in that moment, the world didn't just lose a princess. It lost a woman who had dared to feel in an institution built on restraint, and who had transformed vulnerability into strength. Princess Diana wasn't just a princess. She was a woman who felt deeply in a world that demanded silence. A woman who turned vulnerability into strength. A woman who chose compassion over protocol. And maybe that's why her story still echoes today. If this story moved you, if you felt something real behind the crown, make sure to like and subscribe so Nara Paint can keep telling the stories behind the faces we think we know. One brush stroke, one story. This is Nara Paint.